1,000 down, million to go. I'm Ray Myers. Welcome to Craft vs. Cruft. And I've been a little quiet, and one of the reasons for that is that we have just reached 1,000 subscribers. And I felt like I should acknowledge that, but honestly, I get a little emotional about it because this little channel is quite special to me. In honor of that, I would like to share with you a couple of goodies I had in the stash for a rainy day. One of them is an excerpt from my unpublished book, The Most Tangled Chord, is a meditation called The Way of the Untangler, in which I explain the core of my philosophy. The other I'm calling the Gilded Rose World Record, which is an exercise in advanced refactoring automation. So you can watch for those in the next few episodes. But today is just going to be about kind of the history of the channel and how I see its purpose. If you're invested in what we're doing here, or maybe you've got content that you're producing or considering producing, maybe this will be helpful to you. But I really wanted to acknowledge crossing that threshold. I don't have a script or anything. I will first acknowledge, like, on the scale of YouTubers, on the scale of content creators, 1,000 subscribers is actually not that much. But there's a particular kind of content I'm trying to make. And I don't just mean like tech content, but like some of the videos that I have that are the best performing, which might be reacting to something that's in current news and you catch trends or whatever. Like, I'm well aware that I could be getting more views if I just did more of that kind of thing. But I don't want to get sucked into being a news channel or being a reaction clapback channel or anything like that, because I think reaching more people is kind of irrelevant if you haven't reached them with the thing you wanted to reach people with in the first place. So I've been very much a slow and steady rise over these past 5 years and 70-ish videos. But I feel like the people I have reached have responded, in ways that are just better than I could have ever hoped. I have, done videos on a job search and heard that I helped someone get a job. I, heard lots of different things from people whose careers I've been able to impact. And that's what I wanted to be doing here. That was the point. Like, can I put something out here that might give someone the right guidance I wish I had at the right time? And for everyone who has joined me along the way, I am very grateful to you for the chance to do it. If you make this kind of content yourself, it might help you to understand a little bit more of my psychology behind doing it. There's so many programmers, despite what people believe about AI coming and wiping us out off the map tomorrow. There are lots and lots of us, and there are more than there were 5 years ago and 10 years before that and so on. And the field has grown so fast. This is the key part here. The field has grown so fast that there's not always a lot of mentorship available. So if you have a considerable amount of experience, consider giving back. Consider acknowledging the very fortunate place that you might be in your life as a senior developer, that someone who hasn't yet crossed over into the industry or who is more junior and mid-level, they are not at that great place you're fortunate to be in. Career stability and the lifestyle you might be able to have and so on. Wouldn't it be great if you were able to spend a little bit of time giving back and mentoring some people to help get closer to where you are? That experience will enrich you as well. I've certainly found that it is. When I make these videos, the fact that I get a video in my catalog and some people see it and hopefully they get something out of it, that is one effect. And over time, that has, I think made a lot of difference for me. It's made me a lot of connections and things. But That's almost a byproduct as I see it, because the things I put on this channel are things that I think are important for me to say, right? Now, that's a different thing than optimizing for what video you think might perform the best. Not really the game I'm trying to do. And if something's important for me to say, think about what goes into making a video about it. Now I know how to say that thing. And it's not just paying off that I now have a video out of me saying that thing that was very important for me to say. The next time I need to say that, the next time I need to explain this important concept, I've already rehearsed and recorded and edited a video of myself saying it in the best way that I know how. This is kind of a superpower. Like, once you accumulate like this library of the 40, 50, 60 most important things you thought there were to say about your profession, and you just sort of have those on file, like there's kind of an echo of them in your brain, and it's much more likely you're going to be able to pull that crucial soundbite when you sense that someone might be ready to hear it, that it might be the advice that they've been waiting to hear on this particular day. I almost could have gone through that process. I wouldn't have if there weren't the carrot of being able to show it to you all. But it would have been worth it. It would have been worth making those videos and not even releasing them if I could have made myself do it, just so that I had my thoughts collected for all the conversations I was having out in the world after that. Some people write books in order to think, and I, for a time, did try to write one. I may finish it someday, but this is what works for me. All I can say is, like, I do believe this has helped a lot of people, but it has enriched me so much as well. You know, through this, I've had a chance to do speaking engagements. I spoke in New York this year, and I got to talk to Patrick Dubois, the person who coined the term DevOps. And I was totally geeking out. I was so excited to meet him. And I found myself saying, on some level, what we're here for is if there are people out there who have half of a hope about being able to make their work life better, if we're able to give them 75% of a hope instead of a half, then that can be a huge win. Sometimes people just need a little nudge, and the experiences I had mentoring people, being able to get people that already had their head in the right place, just that extra bit of encouragement, that is a big part of what made me decide to get into producing content. Also, were other people who made content that really inspired me in this way. Some of my biggest inspirations, as you may know if you follow me, were Marianne Bellotti, who wrote Kill It With Fire, and Arlo Belshi, who should write a book, though he hasn't yet, much like myself. People like this are just my heroes. And you could add to that Andrea Goulet and M. Scott Ford, who started the Legacy Code Rocks podcast. It has a weekly meetup still going, by the way, so check that out. Chelsea Troy, a number of people whose work has given me some of the answers and the energy and the hope that I needed while trying to make sense of this crazy world of broken, decrepit, dysfunctional software and teams that we somehow find ourselves confronted with. I felt that maybe someday I would be able to take my place among people like that, and be able to inspire people in the way those had inspired me. And I know there are a few people for which that is true, but I wouldn't begin to compare myself to the people that I'm thinking of here. I haven't done remotely what they've done. Give me 10 years. I still would like to get there. But I have over time had a chance to get to know a number of them, to even work on projects with some of them, and I am so grateful for that experience. In my personal life, which I don't talk about much here, a lot of things haven't been going well, and this has been, kind of a light at the end of the tunnel to be getting such great feedback from the work I've been putting out. So anyway, if you feel like you have a message taking shape inside you, maybe this will give you some motivation to develop that and try and find a way that's right for you. If you're someone who does in that way or just on a personal level, find ways to take time and try to guide the next crew onward, then know that I appreciate that work so much. We got to get back to business. We're on the year of DSLs, domain-specific languages. I've got a presentation on attribute grammars up next for you, an old Don Knuth classic. And lots more stuff ahead, domains to model, parsers to write. So, onward and upward with patience. The most tangled cord may be undone. Thank you.